Hello and welcome to our Nigerian viewers and viewers across the world. This is Galaxy TV News. Let's get things started. President Muhammadu Buhari visits Imo State, assures of more federal government presence in the state. Plus tonight, Lagos State House of Assembly passes value-added tax bill as well as a bill that prohibits open cattle grazing in the state. And outside Nigeria, some 200 people, including Americans, are expected to be airlifted out of Kabul in the first such operation since the Taliban took over power in August 15. We'll tell you more in just a moment. And now, wherever you're watching from around the world, we are live from our headquarters here in Lagos, Nigeria. I am Kelly Egiga. On our first story tonight, President Muhammadu Buhari has assured the people of Imo State of more federal government presence. The president gave the assurance while commissioning projects by the Governor Hope Uzodinma-led administration in Imo State. The president, whose jet landed in the state, swiftly went round commissioning the project. Governor Uzodinma, while presenting areas of projects done by him to the president, thanked President Buhari for his prompt action towards the fight against insecurity in Imo State and the Southeast Zone.
I'm very impressed with what he has done because I have gone through the same problem at the center to make sure that infrastructure is what will enable the people to mind their own businesses. If there are no roads,
the poor state of the road turned it into a heaven for armed robbers. I recall vividly that on the day I flagged off the construction of this road, a woman broke down in tears of joy because the residents had lost all hope of seeing the road reconstructed after over 15 years.
Well, we sincerely apologize. Now to other stories. The appeal court sitting in Abuja has ordered INEC to recognize Professor Charles Soludo as candidate of the All Progressives Grand Alliance APGA in the November 6 Anambra governorship polls. The three-member justices panel headed by the president of the appeal court, Monica Dongba-Mensem, also declared victor a national chairman of APGA. Justice Jumai Sankei, while delivering ruling on the appeal filed against Sylvester Ezeokonwa and 5 others, the court, in a unanimous decision, held that the appeal constituted an abuse of court process, having been bound by the decision of the Kano Division, affirming Chief Oye as party chairman. The panel said it lacks jurisdiction to do what the appeal by Chief Edozie Njoku and Chinedu Okoro was seeking, as it cannot sit on appeal of its previous decision. The sum of 10 million naira was therefore awarded against the appellants in favor of Sylvester Eze Okenwa and All Progressive Grand Alliance APGA, who are the first and second respondents in the appeal. In the meantime, the Lagos State House of Assembly on Thursday passed the value-added tax bill with Speaker Mudashiru Obasa directed the acting clerk of the House, Olaliko Onofeko, to transmit a clean copy to Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu for assent. The House also passed the bill that prohibits open cattle grazing in Lagos State. The two bills were passed after unanimous votes by the lawmakers at the sitting where the bills were read for the third time. Immediately after their passage, Speaker Obasa commended his colleagues for their passion to see that the state continues to grow. The House had held separate public hearings on the bills on Wednesday, with stakeholders expressing support. Let's shift our focus now to election matters as the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, continued its stakeholders meeting Thursday to intimate Nigerians with innovations and plans to better Nigeria's electoral system. At a meeting of the Interagency Consultative Committee on Election Security held in Abuja Thursday, Chairman of the Commission, Professor Mahmoud Yakub, told the meeting that the Commission has improved on its electoral plans, particularly with the introduction of biomodal voters accreditation system. He told the committee that accreditation of voters will continue to be electronic and that the Commission will engage 25,000 ad hoc staff for the Anambra State gubernatorial elections. Professor Yakubu also informed the committee that INEC has recovered from the serial attack on its facilities across the country, but urged security agencies to do more in the provision of security during elections.
The prevalence of security threat occasioned by different dissident separatist groups in the southern regions of the country, who are bent on scuttling effort of government in achieving national cohesion and undermining the democratic processes in the country. The federal government of Nigeria will not tolerate any group or persons planning to impede smooth conduct of elections.
National Security Advisor Major General Babagana Muguno retired, who was represented by the Director of State Security Services, Sanusi Galadima, commended INEC for the various innovations introduced to improve Nigeria's electoral process. He said the government will not allow IPOB or any other militant group disrupt the forthcoming elections in Anambra State. Now, away from that story, the leadership of the Action Alliance has accused the Independent National Electoral Commission of meddling into the internal affairs of the party at a peaceful rally organized by the party at the headquarters of INEC on Thursday. The party national chairman, Kenneth Udeze, called on the commission to recognize him as the substantive chairman of the party. Udeze and his members, who bore placards of different inscriptions, described the refusal of INEC to give effect to the findings and orders of court as a travesty of justice. He therefore appealed to the INEC chairman, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, and the National Assembly Committee on INEC to investigate and remedy the anomalies, especially as it concerns some compromised staff of the commission. He further disclosed that the party only recognizes John Okechukwu as the authentic candidate of the Action Alliance in the upcoming gubernatorial polls in Anambra State.
How can you explain a situation where INEC, who is supposed to be an unbiased umpire, is seen dealing and hobnobbing with opponents of our party National Executive Committee openly in court and outside the court? This is travesty of justice. Please make this right. We have the video clips and their audio is audible enough for everyone to hear. It appears that this same INEC staff have accepted to be used by external forces, politicians from other parties, especially the APC.
You're watching the news on Galaxy TV. We're due for a break, but in the second part of our news package, Nigerian politician and businessman Mazi Sam Ohabumwa provides solution to poverty and insecurity in Nigeria. We'll tell you more on that story on the other side. Please stay with us. You're welcome back. You're watching the news on Galaxy TV. Now, for more updates and latest news, visit our website at www.galaxytvonline.com or subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/Galaxy TV Nigeria. You can follow or interact with us on our Facebook page at facebook.com/Galaxy TV. Don't forget to follow and tag us on our Instagram page at Official Galaxy TV. If you have breaking news around you, you can avail our eyewitness feature via WhatsApp. Simply share your story by sending short clips or videos of the news on 0818 666 669. Our social media platforms are user-friendly and can always accommodate your life update and comment. And now let's shift our focus to other stories, as 80% of poverty in Nigeria is linked or connected to injustice, which has further given birth to insecurity as witnessed in many parts of the country. Now, this was disclosed by the president of the Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria, Mazi Sam Ohabunwa, during a chat with newsmen. While reflecting on the sorry state of the nation, he identifies failure of intelligence, lack of innovation and sabotage as major players for Nigeria's worsening insecurity situation.
What is happening in our country, first, is there is failure of intelligence, complete failure. Two, there's lack of innovation in carrying out duty. Three, a lack of understanding of the mix of tactics and strategies you need to arrest a situation that is almost akin to rebellion. What we're having in our country is not just mere insecurity, some form of rebellion. So what we need to do is first to dimension the problem. And the moment the problem is adequately dimensioned, which is like, is it lack of capability? Is it lack of resources? Is it lack of motivation? Or is there a complicity, somebody derelict on his assignment? Are there some sabotage, people inside who are dealing with? These are the problems we're going to dimension between the time we start receiving security reports.
In another development, the Nigerian politician and business executive, while advocating equity, fairness and justice, commended the use of electronic voting in the just concluded elections in Kaduna State. On the ongoing debate as regards ranting against grazing, the convener of the New Nigeria Group rejected the idea of grazing while highlighting the benefits of ranching in a contemporary society.
Because all the people who oppose electronic, with due regard, don't mean well for the country. They don't want a transparent election. They don't want a free and fair election. Look at a sign of free and fair election. El-Rufai lost in his polling booth. Is it what? Yeah, lost. So can you believe that? Would it ever have happened if we don't try electronic? Because there's a consensus that open grazing is outmoded. It doesn't help anybody. It doesn't help the herders. It does not help those who consume the meat. Our cows don't produce enough milk just because they are put through much arduous tasks. The world has gone beyond where you move cattle from one end to the other.
Let's stay with security stories for a moment. A former deputy director at the Department of Security Service, Adams Abu, has faulted the call made for Nigerians to bear arms to fight insecurity. Rather, he charged the federal government to recruit more people and train them on modern-day security training and techniques. He further stressed the need to equip all security agencies with modern-day equipment. Speaking in Akure, the security expert said legalizing carrying of firearms by Nigerians will turn the country into a lawyerless society. He also tasked the Nigerian government to provide an enabling environment for the Nigerian police force to thrive.
Because like some people have advocated for, individuals should arm themselves and begin to defend themselves. The negative effect of that is enormous. And I think what the federal government in particular should do now, they should intensify the recruitment and training of more security personnel across board in this country. Back them up with adequate equipment in terms of those that use arms and technology, latest technology.
And away from security stories, Nigerians and all levels of government have been called upon to support the fight against any form of sexual violence in the country. Now, this was made known to newsmen during the formal notification ceremony of the Princess of Cornwall as the patron of Mirabel Center, which is the first Nigeria Sexual Assault Referral Center. The Chief Medical Director of LASUTH, Adetokunbo Fabanwo, and the British Deputy High Commissioner Ben Llewellyn Jones applauded the center for creating a safe space for victims of sexual assault to report and tell their stories, adding that it is a collective work between the government and residents to bring an end to the menace ravaging the society. Galaxy's Daniel Tenimo reports that Adetokunbo further said the center is built to educate and enlighten the people on the vast effect of all sorts of sexual violence.
The truth of the matter is that these nefarious activities will still go on. So we would need bodies like the Mirabel organization to provide the safety net, at least look after the health of the victims, and then ensure they get justice at the end of the day. It was mentioned about underreporting. That is one of the major problems in this society. People feel stigmatized if they've been victims of such activities. They don't want to talk about it. They don't want to report. But we must continue to strive to ensure that we educate people about reporting, because without reporting, there may not be justice.
And what we hope, and what the Duchess hopes, is that her patronage will shine a light on these issues in Nigeria, and importantly, try and address these issues at source to try and prevent them, particularly by promoting the application of the Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act, the Child Rights Act, and all the work that's done to educate, to socialize, and to show why prevention is so important. And then, in addition, to help with the very, very necessary and very difficult work that's done to support victims in this space.
Now, the founder of the center, Itoro Ezi Anaba, noted that since the establishment of the center, more than 6,000 victims of all sorts of sexual violence have visited, mostly teenage girls and boys, adding that the Sexual Assault Referral Center provides free medical and psychosocial support to survivors.
There were quite a number of young ones that were being abused in their homes by people that should actually be loving them and protecting them. We have had more than 6,000 clients that have come to the center to get help. I also want to appeal to community leaders, employers of labor, wherever you find yourself, wherever your sphere of influence is, ensure that there is a policy. Ensure that there's a policy that condemns rape, that you will not accept sexual harassment, that you will not accept domestic violence, that you will not accept rape in your organization.
Justice, doing justice, or getting justice for victims of sexual violence required a completely different approach to the way that traditional NGO work was being done, and also required a different approach from what was existing in terms of healthcare interventions, for people who had been victims or people who had survived sexual violence.
You're watching the news on Galaxy TV. Let's switch gears for a moment and join our international desk for more stories.
Welcome to news from the international scene. Some 200 people, including Americans, are expected to be airlifted out of Kabul in the first such operation since the Taliban takeover on 15th of August. Charter flights are expected to start on Thursday, Qatari and U.S. sources say. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken urged help with evacuations during a recent visit to Qatar, which is reportedly involved in the operation. Hundreds of Afghan citizens who had helped the U.S. militaries were unable to get out in the last month's U.S. airlift. Around 100 U.S. citizens are estimated to remain in Afghanistan. The flights are the first to leave since the end of the rushed U.S. military-led evacuations finished at the end of August. More than 124,000 foreigners and Afghans fearful of Taliban retribution were flown out of the country. The Taliban have banned protests unless authorized by the Justice Ministry. But dozens of demonstrators chanting, "We want freedom," gathered near the Pakistan embassy in Kabul, and Taliban gunmen opened fire to disperse them, protesters said. More demonstrations were reported in Pawan and Nimruz provinces. Another protest by women took place in Kapisa province, northeast of Kabul, local reports say. Sources confirm that several women have been arrested. "It is our right to protest," said Asina from Kabul. "Now that we know what the Taliban meant by their new cabinet, we will protest." They kept saying that women should wait till the Taliban announce their new cabinet, but there is no single woman in the cabinet. But Alazai from the southern province of Helmand called for another countries to recognize the Taliban government. She said if protests continue and the Taliban suppress them, the international community will not recognize the Taliban's new government and the people would suffer. Some women calling for the inclusion of female ministers in the government were reportedly beaten before the demonstrations were broken up.
And with that report, we conclude our news at this time. But for more updates and latest news, visit our website at www.galaxytvonline.com or subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/GalaxyTV Nigeria. You can follow or interact with us on our Facebook page at facebook.com/GalaxyTV. Don't forget to follow and tag us on our Instagram page at Official Galaxy TV. If you have breaking news around you, you can avail our eyewitness feature via WhatsApp. Simply share a story by sending short clips or videos of the news on 0818 666 669. Our social media platforms are user-friendly and can always accommodate your live update and comment. And that's your Galaxy TV News at this time. On behalf of the production team and everyone here, thank you so much for your company. We urge you to please keep safe. I am Kelly Egiga. Our newsroom will be back at 9 p.m. with our primetime news. Good evening.